When you think of chatbots, you might think 90% open rates, high engagement, but the truth of the matter is, if done improperly, chatbots can actually hurt your business a lot more than that 90% open rate is going to help. So the question at hand is, are messenger bots really dead? Or chatbots really dead? We're gonna cover that in this video, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jordan Steen, also known as Serial Entrepreneur, and if you want to learn more about starting a marketing agency, a digital marketing agency, or just learning more about digital marketing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell in the bottom right-hand corner so we can update you with all of our future videos, trainings, resources, giveaways that we do every single week. Oh, and P.S. make sure to stay tuned to the end of today's video, and I will give you my top 2 tips to making sure that you do great and increase your messenger bot performance. Now, if you're a marketer and you've been living under a rock, then chatbots are just those automation sequences or messenger sequences that you've seen up that are run by another software. Basically, it's like thinking of something like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, but we use it for Messenger via Facebook. Now, obviously, this can be super important and useful for marketers because of the fact that now we can automate things, we can create lists like we used to be able to do or still do with email marketing, and that allows us to provide better content to people who actually want to see that content. And you might be asking, well, Jordan, we know about a lot of the good, but why are you saying that messenger bots could be dying or are dead? Well, let's look at an interesting statistic done by Media Post where they actually performed a survey to figure out what actually is working and what's not working for a chatbot. And if you read the statistic right here on your screen, 73% say that they would likely not use a company's chatbot again after having a bad experience with it. And that doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but the truth of the matter is most chatbots are not set up properly to work with a messenger sequence or messaging with potential customers. So really that's the issue, and that's why a lot of people, even though they are running chatbots, aren't getting the most out of those chatbots, or maybe they aren't seeing the lead generation or the engagement that they're hoping for. And that comes down to basically the fact that people are not considering how messenger bots should be used. The differences between a messenger bot and an email automation software are very different, yet people tend to cross them over and use them the exact same. So what are some of the wrong ways that people are using messenger bots? First and foremost, like we just mentioned, people are treating them like email automations or email campaigns. Plain and simple, messenger is very, very short form, very quick interactions with potential customers or with customers, where email is a much longer form of communication, and things in email are usually done in a much slower pace, right? So thinking instantly about that, you can easily see how a messenger campaign might not be working as effectively as the same campaign that you might have set up on email. The second thing is blasting non-relevant content. Guys, not everybody in your messenger list wants every single message that you send. We talk all the time on my channel about focusing on customer intent and content intent, right? So for example, if a potential viewer of mine wanted to see stuff on Facebook marketing, we're not gonna blast them with Instagram marketing until they express an interest in Instagram marketing. And we do that through tagging and list segmentation. But if you're just blasting out every piece of content to everybody on your list, you're gonna have a lot of unsubscribes very quickly. And that same principle applies to email, yet people are messing up. The third thing would be spamming everyone constantly. Guys, email is a lot easier to get away with sending a message a day or a message every other day. But if you're instant messaging someone, basically texting someone every single day, once to twice to 3 times a day, you're really going to start to irritate someone by doing that, right? So thinking of it as, okay, when someone texts you personally in a day, if they were to text you 14 different times about 14 different things, it would probably start to get a little irritating to you, right? I'm sure some of you have like moms or dads that are overbearing and you're like, Mom, stop texting me, I'm done with it. The same principle applies here with messenger bots. So think about that when you're starting to build out the campaigns for either your clients or your own agency. The fourth big thing is a long series that tries to do way too much. And this is actually something we fell victim to. We built out an automation. We shortened the content up as far as the length of the content, but the automation was still the same length. And given that it's a shorter version or a shorter form version of marketing, it doesn't make sense to have your automations drawn out to be 3 months long to 6 months long, right? You need to be able to get the same amount of information done in a shorter time frame. And then the fifth thing, and this is one of the most common ones, is trying to replace customer service with complete automation. And that's a big no-no. You don't want to replace every aspect of your business with an automated sequence. It's really just not possible to do that yet. So taking that into consideration, plus the other 4 things before, are really why people are struggling and why messenger bots are starting to become or have this negative connotation associated with it. So let me ask you guys a question. Does this sound like you or your experience at all with chatbots? If so, leave them below. Or if you have any other instances or complications that you've seen with chatbots, I would love to see it in the comments below as well. So how does one use a chatbot properly? Well, to back up, let's avoid the 5 things that we actually just mentioned to you previously. All right, don't write them as if they're email campaigns. Try to avoid removing all aspects of customer service from, or at least the human to human aspect of customer service. Keeping content intent focused, not spamming people with messages or messaging them every single day, not having a series that's too complicated, too long. Those are really the big 5. And if you can avoid all of those things, you're gonna have a much better result with your chatbot marketing campaigns. Finally, another thing that's really going to help with streamlining the process and removing any friction is making sure that you're creating campaign maps. If you guys haven't seen us do it previously, we talk a lot about creating a campaign map anytime we're creating an automation or an ad campaign, which is basically just a visualization of the flow, so that way you understand where messages are being delivered, what the content is about, what actions are taking place, are people being tagged, or are they being added to a list or removed from a list, so that way you understand what is happening in your entire campaign. So messenger bots dying, if we look at it as whether it is a good thing or a bad thing, well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a good thing, because we found out that messenger bots are very useful. They can be used to create and distribute content very, very easily without it actually taking a manual effort, or as much manual effort as it would if you had to message each person individually. But if we keep ignoring the factors that I previously mentioned in the video and keep using messenger bots the same old way, we should expect that eventually messenger bots will either be removed from the equation completely, or people will stop using the messenger functionality altogether. So good thing or bad thing? Definitely not a good thing. Chatbots are useful. They're super beneficial for marketers just like myself and for business owners. But again, if we keep using them the wrong way, if we keep treating them like email campaigns or softwares, then they will become counterproductive. So chatbots moving forward, let's look at a few things. Number 1, let's try and add things like FAQs to chatbots. FAQs are frequently asked questions that a customer might have, which basically is what people are coming to chatbots for. I would say 90% of the time, people are coming to chatbots looking for answers about a specific thing or topic related to your product or service. The second thing is dealing with quick responses. So things that you can answer quickly for a customer that might be related to a product or service, or that might be information based. But having something that is quick and easy to understand and having that set up is going to help your business, versus something that might take a longer explanation or maybe 1 or 2 videos or blog articles to explain. You shouldn't try to cram that into a messenger campaign or bot of some kind. And the third thing is that it will be supplementary to human interaction. So basically removing the human aspect from customer service, which again, we talked about is a good thing, but you cannot completely remove humans from that process. You do have to have somebody come in at some point in the customer service process where a human takes over and starts to communicate with the customer, because eventually AI is only so good. Automation, our software is only so good today, right? So we have to actually make sure we incorporate a human being at some point in the process. And in case you guys didn't know, check out this video up here in the top right-hand corner. We put together a comprehensive guide on Facebook Messenger ads and chatbots. I promise that one will be useful for you. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Since you stayed tuned to the end, I have 2 quick tips for you guys that are going to help with your chatbots. We kind of alluded to them earlier in this video, but tip 1 is going to be this. Keep any automation that you build relatively short. So I would probably say anywhere from 3 to 5 steps in your automation, and that should be it for that entire automation. Once you start to get past the 3 to 5 step mark, you're really adding in way too much for a messenger series. Again, when we really look at messenger, we compress everything down, and that includes the size of the automation, the size of the content. Every aspect of the campaign needs to be compressed. So 3 to 5 is probably my range that I would stick within when you're creating an automation as far as the steps are concerned. And then the second part, and this is a big thing that we learned from, was never completely remove the human interaction process. There needs to be a human being that eventually steps into the process and takes over more complex communication or issues that a potential customer might have. Those are the two most important things. I hope you guys have learned a lot from this video and at least learned a little bit about chatbots. Make sure you leave any comments or questions below, hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye guys.
Ready to start living the 6-figure work wherever, be your own boss lifestyle? Well, at Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we'll teach you how to use a laptop and internet to start your own social media and digital marketing agency. Get started with our free Facebook ads training. Links in the description below, guys. See you in the course. Serial Entrepreneur out.